Good evening. Tonight, troubling developments both at home and abroad. In America, a former top counterterrorism official resigns amid war overseas and now faces an FBI investigation. A Colorado school community is shaken as police search for a staff member accused of abusing a minor. And Olympic concerns are raised as California leadership faces criticism over alleged fraud with the world watching. A young American student vanishes during spring break in Spain, while in Iran, a teenage wrestling champion is executed, drawing international outrage as war intensifies in the Middle East. And later, we'll look at how power outages and fuel shortages are pushing Cuba's hospitals to the brink. We'll bring you all of that tonight on Guiding Light News. We begin in Washington. Former National Counterterrorism Center Director Joe Kent has resigned from his position, citing opposition to the ongoing U.S. war with Iran. Kent, a former Army Green Beret and CIA paramilitary officer, said he could no longer support what he described as a conflict like an imminent threat to the United States. Tonight, new reporting confirms the FBI is investigating Kent for alleged leaks of classified information. Sources say the investigation began before his resignation and that Kent had previously been removed from sensitive intelligence briefings due to concerns over disclosures. Kent has also sparked controversy following an appearance on Tucker Carlson's podcast, where he suggested Israeli influence played a role in the U.S. decisions surrounding the war. Comments that have reignited concerns about anti-Semitic rhetoric and conspiracy theories within parts of the political landscape. The FBI has disciplined public comment. It remains unclear whether charges will be filed. In Colorado, authorities are searching for 34-year-old Brenda Meza, a former middle school staffer accused of sexually abusing a 13-year-old student over several months. Police say Meza, who worked as a school secretary and extracurricular coach, allegedly groomed the student by providing drugs and alcohol, exchanging explicit messages, and arranging secret meetings. Investigators say Meza fled the area after being confronted and is now wanted on multiple felony charges, including sexual assault of a child and online enticement of a minor. School officials say she was terminated in February and that the district is fully cooperating with law enforcement. Police urge anyone with information on her whereabouts to come forward immediately. Olympic bobsled legend Kaylee Humphries is publicly criticizing Governor Gavin Newsom's response to allegations in financial fraud within the state. Concerns, she says, are especially troubling with the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics approaching. Humphries warned that Olympic host cities have historically struggled with corruption and mismanagement, and said California must ensure transparency as billions in taxpayer dollars are spent preparing for the Games. Governor Newsom's office dismissed the criticism, stating that California is leading the nation in preventing fraud, waste, and abuse. Still, Humphries' remarks have added to a growing debate over accountability ahead of one of the world's largest sporting events. Overseas now, the family of James Jimmy Gracie, a 20-year-old University of Alabama student, is pleading for help after he went missing during spring break in Barcelona, Spain. Gracie was last seen around 3:30 a.m. Tuesday near the Choco nightclub by Port Olympic. Spanish police have recovered his phone, which had reportedly been stolen, and are reviewing surveillance footage. Authorities have searched nearby waters with underwater units, so far without success. Patrols continue throughout the city's coastal neighborhoods. His family says Jimmy's disappearance is completely out of character and asks the public to keep him in their prayers. Iran has executed 19-year-old champion wrestler Saleh Mohammadi, despite international appeals and warnings from the U.S. State Department. Human rights groups say Mohammadi was publicly hanged after being convicted in what they describe as a sham trial, stemming from protests against the Iranian regime. Activists say his confession was coerced under torture. Mohammadi's execution has drawn comparisons to past cases involving Iranian athletes and is being widely condemned as a politically motivated act meant to silence dissent. Calls are growing for Iran to be banned from international sporting competitions, as critics accuse global sports organizations of failing to protect athletes from state retaliation. As tensions escalate, U.S. military officials confirm that A-10 Warthogs are now actively engaged in operations against Iranian fast attack boats in the Strait of Hormuz. Chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, General Dan Kane, says the aircraft are targeting vessels believed to be laying naval mines, threatening one of the world's most critical oil shipping lanes. Iran's disruption of the strait has already triggered a spike in global oil prices. U.S. forces are also striking Iranian drone infrastructure deeper inside the country as the conflict enters its third week. And lastly, in Cuba, hospitals across the island are struggling to function amid worsening power outages and fuel shortages. Even top-tier facilities in Havana are rationing lab work and adjusting treatment schedules. Patients with life-threatening illnesses, including cancer, report difficulties accessing medication and transportation. Doctors are walking miles to work, while families rely on relatives abroad to send supplies. In a world filled with uncertainty, turmoil, and questions of justice, we close tonight with a reminder of enduring hope. Matthew 6, verse 33. But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things shall be added to you. Thank you for joining us. May you rest tonight in peace, wisdom, and strength. Good night, and God bless.